All right, it says that we're live. Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I am Carrow Brown, urban fantasy author and tarot card enthusiast, and I wanted to do a stream at the first Monday of the month to basically do a tarot prediction for Authortube. And I used to do these as videos for folks to go back and kind of look at back in like early 2020 for a hot minute. And I fell out of the habit of doing it, but I decided that this year I was going to get back into it for two reasons. One, it was fun for me to do, and I really kind of liked seeing like if things unfolded, if they didn't. And then the other reason is because I actually wrote a book about tarot cards, so I figured I should walk the talk kind of thing. But we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of card play, as I like to call it. I will be using a deck. It's called Classic Tarot, and it's very pretty. I really like it. It's probably the easiest deck for me to read when it comes time for me to do so. Good imagery, good everything. And what we're going to be doing with this particular stream is I'm going to do the first spread for Authortube. It's going to be a 9-card spread, and I'll explain the cards as I do them, so that way you guys are on the same page as me. And then once we get done doing that and maybe having some guesses about what's going to happen this month, I'll open the floor to some 3-card spreads if anybody wants to have a little bit of fun with that. I do want to reiterate that this is like for entertainment purposes only. At no point should you be the kind of person that you see a card reading and you take the absolute worst take on it and then you isolate yourself from the rest of society. Please don't do that. That would make me very sad. And all that good stuff. So I am going to take a look and see who's here real quick. I do want to shuffle the cards in front of you guys because I need to be better about that. But Amy is here. Hello, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's always good to see you. Stacy is here. It's so good to see you as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Mama Ward is here. Hello, Mama Ward. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you are doing well. Oh no, Brandon's here. So I got out my favorite deck. It felt appropriate to have it next to me. Mary is here. Hello, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us today. Cat Paw is here. I don't have a deck, but a big bowl of Will Vatapat. Oh, you're cooking. Well done. Welcome to my stream, Brandon. I hope that you have a good time with it. This is my one fun thing that I really like to do. I don't know if you guys know my history about tarot cards. It's actually been kind of like my coping mechanism to like deal with like my family issues. My birth mother was the kind of person that believed in these very adamantly, like to the point where it was like she needed an intervention. She had one reading done, I think, when I was 4. And they said that you should go on a spiritual journey to like discover yourself. And she literally went to Egypt. She got on a plane and went to Egypt. And we were all kind of like, what is happening right now? And so for the longest time, I actually used to hate these things. I thought they were really bad. But then when I turned 16, I bought one just to kind of take a look at it, and I ended up having a lot of fun with it. And these are really, so I have to warn you guys, if you do have these and you happen to go to like a party or something, don't tell people that you play with these, because all you're going to be doing for the rest of the night is like pulling 3 cards for folks, because they all secretly want you to like foretell their futures and if they're going to find love or get that raise or whatever question is. A lot of people who go and talk to people who like to play with tarot cards are just looking for some kind of reassurance when they feel uncertain and vulnerable. So... Hello. Oh, I forgot. Is it? Oh, I had it written on a sticky note. But it's Cole. Right, it is Cole. Hello, Cole. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you're doing well. Oh, CB is here. Hello, CB. Thank you so much for joining us. You were also going to grab your cards. That's awesome. What decks are you guys using? Mostly because I'm nosy. I've stopped buying decks at breakneck pace, but I also have like 102 decks right now. So, tarot card enthusiast. I love to collect these things. When in doubt, send me a tarot card. I will usually love it. Sophia is here. Hello, Sophia. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you are doing well. Let's see. Stacy says, I need to go to the parties you go to. It's been years, close to a decade, since somebody asked me to do a reading for them. I literally just go to some kind of gathering, and then somebody will mention it, and then another person will ask if I carry a deck with me. And I've always gotten into the habit of having one with me. It's actually this one. It's called Arcana, and it's by a company called Dead on Paper. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, there you go. It's Dead on Paper. It's basically playing cards with the tarot theme. And it's really appropriate because if you guys don't know, tarot actually used to be just a turn-based game that they would play. It was very expensive because card makers didn't like generate cards and like crazy until the printing press came out. But yeah, so that's the one I usually carry on me. I have it in here right now because I'm not going out very much right now. But Yeah, there was at one point where I literally just sat in the corner for like 3 hours doing card readings, and I didn't mind doing it because I got to interact with people on a one-on-one basis that way. But I also got a little annoyed because I didn't go to do fortune telling reading, you know. I didn't know you did these, and I'm excited. Oh, cool! You have the Damien deck. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Amy, you have 102. I have 102 that, you know, but I don't actively use them. My husband was actually watching me sort the ones that I frequently go through. The one that I go through the most is actually a coin pouch that I have on the kitchen counter. I'll have to show pictures of it to you guys later. My favorite deck is Spiral Tarot, and ironically is the first deck that I have bought / owned. Oh, that's a good one. And Mama Ward says Tarot of the Cloisters, around round deck out today. Oh, you have a round deck. I can't use those. I can't use the circle cards, yo. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a final shuffle again. So this first one again is going to be for Authortube. So it's 9-card draw for Authortube, and then like I said, I'll open it up, and if you guys would like to have like some kind of fun question answered, please feel free to. You're also going to see how bad my shuffle game is. I usually just do overhand shuffle. I cannot riffle shuffle to save my effing life. It's because I got tiny hands. Like, these cards are not very big, and my fingers just can't do it, yo. Alright, so I'm just going to shuffle one more time. I hope you guys are all having a good day today. CB says that they have the Golden Tarot deck. Oh, that's amazing. And then Mama Ward says that she spent last Halloween reading people's tarot, but unfortunate with many terrible truths. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's never fun. All right, so again, 9-card draw for Authortube, and we'll see what happens. So this first card is going to be the current self. So the current self of what Authortube is right now. So that is going to be, oh, inverted justice. How terrible. I am very sorry. Let's see. So justice is usually about the spirit and the letter of the law, and adhering to it's usually like a very like black and white kind of looking card. But it's inverted, which means that justice isn't working appropriately. My first thought when I see this is that there's fighting going on. Not fighting. What's the word I'm looking for? There's some kind of, somebody got wronged. That's my thought. Somebody got wronged in a really bad way. And it's one of those things where everybody knows about it, but they're not actually doing anything about it. They're just kind of letting it slide, which I don't always recommend, because if we don't hold each other accountable, then we just kind of fuck up even more. But I have literally no idea who or what that is involving, mostly because I usually mind my own business. Maybe that's part of the problem too, minding your business too much. Card 2 is going to be the theme of the month. So the theme of the month for Authortube is going to be 9 of Cups. Oh, that's a wonderful card to pull, actually. So 9 of Cups is all about knowing what you have and being comfortable with it. It's almost like looking back and knowing that you have great achievements. The one kind of downside some folks like to point out with this card is that it's a little cocky, as some people like to say. Because if you take a look, this guy's not looking back to see what he has to appreciate it. He's just comfortable and confident that it is there. But I mean, at the same time, if we have been in a place where we actually are making big accomplishments and getting somewhere, we should be allowed to kind of like have a pat on the back and boast about it. You know, for example, like I actually had a really great 2022 year. The company that I worked for, Rippaverse, took off. I am in a great team of people. I absolutely adore them. And I have been writing more than I probably have in the last 2 years. So I'm very comfortable with that. That is me sharing my achievements. If you guys want to share your achievements of 2022 in the chat, please feel free to, because that is what we're going to do. So card 3 is supposed to be the key goal of the month. Okay, so let's see what our key goal as Authortube is. Oh, I'm sorry. Which never want to hear somebody reading tarot say, I'm so sorry, guys. So 8 of Swords is about being in an uncomfortable place and getting out of it. And one of the hard things about the 8 of Swords is that getting out of that spot is not going to be painless. If you take a look, oh, that reflection though. If you take a look, it's a woman that she's got her hands tied behind her. She can't see. She's surrounded by sharp swords, but her feet are still able to move. She's probably going to cut herself on the way out, but there is a way out right here in front of her. She just has to find it. So that leads me to think that this goes back to this card. I'm not sure what this situation is, but there are people who are trying to get out of it, and they're either being held hostage by their manners, or they're being held hostage in the sense that they don't want to be the one that's being seen causing causing trouble. Like they don't want to be the perceived drama llama, even though they're not the ones that's causing the problem, which absolutely relatable. Nobody wants to be gaslit or have people like point fingers in false directions. But it is still possible to get out of those situations. So that's kind of brutal, though. I don't know who's stuck in this situation. I would definitely encourage you to go talk to your support network and just surround yourself with the kind of people that will unfortunately, these are big people steps, as I like to say. You are the only one that can get yourself out of the situation, but knowing that there's going to be like hot cocoa with a friend on the other side will usually help, as I like to say. So, that's savage, though. All right, so card 4 is obstacles to overcome. And that is the Eight of Pentacles, perfectionism. So obstacles to overcome Eight of Pentacles is not a bad card in Carrow land. It's about working on your craft, getting better at it, and taking it a little bit further. But when we're seeing it as an obstacle, we're seeing it as perfectionism. We're holding ourselves back because that sentence isn't written just right. The video B-roll isn't as it needs to be. And I'm not quite sure what standard that we're all trying to like rise up to as Authortube, but it's getting to the point where it's like lots of effort being put into it, but not an equal return, if that makes any sense. It's somebody's leading the charge. That's the one thing that I have in my head when I think about this card and what it's supposed to mean. There's one person that's really trying to like up the quality of Authortube, and it's kind of rippling down, but it's not rippling down effectively. And that kind of sucks because if somebody's trying to emulate, but they're failing at it, then they're going to get really upset and frustrated and all this other stuff. But anyway, so perfectionism in some shape or form is going to be the obstacle of January. So the 5th card is going to be our major accomplishment. So the major accomplishment is actually inverse temperance. So that's always fun. So temperance is kind of like about patience, balance, having places, being of two worlds, but it's supposed to be the accomplishment and it's inverse, which means that things are out of balance. It kind of gives me a tower vibe in the sense that some stuff needs to get taken down in order to rebuild back up. I guess the big thing is that realizing that the big accomplishment is realizing that we're out of balance and figuring out how to address it. Yeah, that's Amy's favorite card. I saw that. So, man, this really sucks because part of what sucks about this is mostly because I'm so out of touch with Authortube that I can't make a good correlation on that. But so the situation with this person, whoever this is going to probably end up being the one that it's bringing to light where this imbalance is. And I think it's some kind of mean girl thing. Like, I always hate when I see that. It's some kind of mean girl thing. And when this ends up coming to light in whatever way that it will, it's going to point out where things are out of whack and not working and not balanced. And then we'll be able to address it as a community. That's my first thought. Let me know if you guys think I'm totally off on that, by the way. Very curious. All right, so I'm going to move these ones down. So could it be rebuilding foundations? Yeah, it can be. Absolutely. That's always how I take the tower card when you're ripping down the old brick and putting up new brick. And that's that's why I was thinking the tower. Something's out of balance. Something needs to be taken down and addressed. But you have to identify that it's out of balance first. So it's the awareness before the rebuilding. So thank you for asking that, Stacy. So let's see. So the 6th card is going to be what to avoid. Well, I guess that makes sense. So the Hierophant, for anybody who's not aware, the Hierophant is usually the person there are two things. They're the person that kind of holds the customs and the traditions of the old way. They're also the mouthpiece of some kind of higher being. And they're also the person of tradition, right? Like, we've always done it this way, that kind of person. It's not inverted, so that means that, they're not terribly bad at it. But when we're looking at it as what to avoid, it kind of goes back to this card right here and what Stacy was saying about rebuilding foundations. Just because this is how things used to be doesn't mean that that's what we should be going back to. So again, finding out what's not working, doing the rebuilding. You could take a look at how things used to be and kind of see what worked and didn't work, but sticking to how it always was is not my recommendation. But again, that's kind of like a rule of thumb that I usually tell people in most industries. So the 7th card is going to be what to embrace. That is going to be, that's such a good card though. So Page of Pentacles. I love this card. Page of Pentacles. So first off, pages are kind of like, I don't want to say like they're like children, but they've got like that childlike enthusiasm about it. They're about to start off on the journey and their specialization, and they're kind of seeing things with like big wonder in their eyes. You know, it's that, you know, the world's a big place kind of realization. Pentacles has to do with growth, money, career, all that kind of stuff. And with this, so when we're talking about what to embrace, we're kind of looking at, I want to say embarking. I don't want to say embarking on business. Not studying business. That's not either. What am I trying to say here with this? I keep thinking growth. That's all I'm seeing with this. Growth as, I guess, a professional, in the sense that this is Authortube. We're all here to write books, sell them, promote them, and stuff like that. Some of us, I think it's pretty much time to start taking it as the authorpreneur idea. So it's treating your passion more like a business, but don't do it to the point where you stop having fun. Again, it's a Page of Pentacles. They're starting off, they're having fun with it. And so if you get to a point where you're not having fun with it, then maybe take a break, do something else, stop doing it that way. Where to find support is the 8th card. Man. So where to find this support is with the inverted star. So star is usually about like hope and new opportunities and like all good stuff, but it's inverted, which means that those things are gone. Those things are taken away. Where to find support with an inverted star? I think that's keeping your feet on the ground, which actually would go with the Pentacle card because that's an Earth card. Finding support by keeping expectations realistic. So if you're writing a book, it's probably not going to be a New York Times bestseller. I think they're also getting rid of that list, so, you know, maybe. But yeah, like, have fun with it, but you're not going to go on any nighttime TV shows or anything like that. So keep it kosher that way. And so the last star is advice and encouragement. I'm just going to strategically place that right there. So 3 of Cups. Inverted though. Finding advice and encouragement. I think this all goes back, advice and encouragement. So I talked earlier about like this mean girl thing that's going on with this card that's going to create this inverse temperance situation. And so the advice and encouragement is what is it? Tribes. Something about tribes. Don't look for tribes. I know sometimes it's safer for us to like have like that, I don't want to say support network, but like that community that we usually like to have, but not everybody at the party wants to party the way that we do. So the advice of encouragement is don't go to groups just because you need a group. Like actually surround yourself with people that are in the same direction and at the same tempo as you. That's my thought. So be careful with who you keep, why you keep them, and that's pretty much gonna be that. So that is Authortube for January. That sounds very dramatic. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's been going on when I haven't been paying attention. I'm gonna put that right there for now. So the last card that I like to pull, I said it was 9 cards, but I always pull a 10th card, and it's the hidden card. It's the card at the end of at the bottom of the deck that nobody sees in a reading. And for Authortube, that's going to be 8 of Wands inversed. Okay, so low energy, low motivation. I see discouragement. That's my first thought. So that situation that we were talking about, I think it's going to be really discouraging for folks, especially if they're in the middle of it and they are still, and it's probably going to take time for us as a group to figure out how to fix it. So disillusionment as well. So low energy, low motivation, low inspiration, just because we're dealing with a social conflict, which actually makes sense because when you're stressed out, your ability to be creative is pretty much squashed at that point. So that was... Mama Ward says the 3 of Cards might also be a warning about false friendships. Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely have gone through a couple of friend circles where I ended up being like the person either doing most of the work or everybody was just friends with me because they were trying to use me to get a connection or something. So yeah, false friends. But again, it's the advice and encouragement card for that inverse 3 of Cups. So the encouragement would be to make sure that you're finding the friends that aren't false. So... and then Stacy's adding 3 of Cups could also be about the party ending and the work needs to get started. It could be. I keep thinking people though. Something about people. That's where my thoughts center. But I do like that interpretation a lot, Stacy. So, all right, perfect. So that only took 20 minutes. to 2. So that gives us about 40 minutes if anybody would like to hang out. Stacy says I pulled a lot of 8s. I love 8s. 8s are actually a really good number in tarot. So CB says, let me see. I got Death reverse, Ace of Swords reverse, 7 of Swords reverse, Queen of Pentacles. It's really hard for me to read that. Death, so that's transformation. Ace of Swords, inverted intelligence. So that means something lacking ideas, or no, something about a sword cutting you. That's my first thought. Queen of Swords reversed, or yeah, 7 of Swords reversed, getting stolen from. Oh my goodness, CB, what's happening? I am. Oh, thank you. You wanted to show my coins? Mr. Brown literally just invaded my stream because he wanted me to show you guys my tarot coins. So these are my tarot coins that I've got. I got them from a Kickstarter, and they're not super detailed. They do the job, and because I don't like shuffling, pulling them out from a bag is usually what I like to do. So that's what they look like. The downside is that it's really hard to do inverses with these, so I just read them upright. So yeah. So you got Temperance too. It's not reversed, so good job. Hierophant. That's interesting. You've got some interesting cards, CB. So you want those coins so bad. I'll see if they have a store and I'll send you the link. I absolutely love and adore them, though. I will tell you guys they are rough on the nail polish, though. So I'm usually a little bit more careful with that. Yeah, I was digging around on Kickstarter, Cat Paw, and I saw it, and I was like, I have to have it. And it took almost a year for me to get them because, you know, they had to get the metal stamp it and all that good stuff. And then I finally got them, and I've absolutely loved them. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you. So, but yeah, no, I really do adore them. It's what we do in the morning together. So please send me a link too. I would really like to add to. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll find it. I'll write a note here so that way I can, in my handy dandy planner, find coin link. All right, coin link. Okay, so. Okay, perfect. All right, well, that was Authortube. Did anybody want to do anything for fun at all or anything like that? Or I guess I could do another spread. That one leaped out. Why did you leap out? 9 of Cups. Enjoy the things that you have. Hey, Natalie. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing today, my friend? I guess I could pull like one for the year of Authortube if nobody has a question or anything. Let me take a look. I always gotta find a good spread for those. Yearly. Probably need to add the right word. Year ahead. I bought like a set of runes, but I don't use them. It was like a gift from somebody. Career, no, that's too personal. Let's take a look, see what I can find. Okay, so there's some that are just 1 card a month. I think I could probably do that. Oh, Amy has a question. Okay, let's do Amy's question. 3 card spread for me. I want to get back into writing 3 cards for advice. Okay, sure. Why not? Let's do that. And then if nobody else wants to go, then I'll do a year overview for Authortube because that's what we're doing today. So fun times. Thank you guys also for joining me. I know you guys could be doing pretty much anything else right now. I got to shuffle these off the camera so that way I have access to my elbow. So 1 second. I'm looking forward to when I have my second camera so that way I can have one on my face and then one looking down and I can reverse the screen. That will be nice. All right, one more time. I'm just going to make sure I shuffle these appropriately. All right, so. So 3 card advice for Amy to get back into writing. Okay, I can do this. Alright, so Amy, your cards are Knight of Swords, Hermit. Wow, you got a lot of swords, but I guess you're talking about writing, so that makes sense. Well, you've been very hard on yourself. Absolutely, I would agree with that. King of Swords is always what I call cranky Batman, because he's a very intelligent person, and it's always his way or the highway kind of thing. But when I see this card and I think about you, Amy, I think what's happened is you've gotten to a point where you say, I don't have time, or it's just not possible, or it's the self-talk with this. And again, swords are an intellectual card, so it's always about like how we're thinking about things and addressing and all that other stuff. So the first thing that I would say is that you spent more time saying I can't do it and haven't figured out how you can, or looked at ways that you can wiggle it in. And that can be something like writing for like 10 minutes a day, or anything, like even like the smallest amount will get you back on that path if that's where you want to go. Hermit is usually seen as an isolation card, but it's also about an introspection card. So it's kind of looking and asking yourself like the questions such as, why is the writing important to me? What am I looking to accomplish with the writing? What am I seeking to gain? You know, asking yourself like those really important questions about how to do that. And then right after you kind of dive into that, then it's the Knight of Swords, which is just getting shit done, right? Although Knight of Swords is usually the kind of person that when they charge off into battle, they just kind of like will slash left and right and don't care if there's a head cut off in the process. So when I say that, I think what's going to happen is you're going to get inspired at some point when you finish your introspection, and then you're just going to leap right into it. And if that's what you want to do, absolutely go for it. But also, what's the thing I'm looking for here? Also remember that it's something about obligations. I don't think it's the homestead. I think it's there's something about writing that's an obligation for you. I don't know what that is. But the thing that you're trying to write, the introspection will answer this question. That's what I keep thinking when I see this. But charge forward with the good energy, but don't lose sight of where it is that you're aiming. I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. So that is the advice. Stop telling yourself that you can't do it. Remember why the writing is important to you. And then don't just completely charge in, sword swinging, but like make a game plan. So I hope that helped you, Amy. Thank you. See, Cat Paw is. Let me see. Cat Paw says publish annual or hold back. So publish the book or hold back. Okay. Let me take a look for you. I'll shuffle or try to shuffle on the screen for you. Amy says I manage social media. That's a lot of creative juices, which are obligations. Yeah, I guess because they're swords and not wands, I don't quite see it as creative energy. I see it as lots of intellectual thinking for sure, like math problem kind of intellectual, not how to what colors go with what kind of thing. So okay. So Kappa wants to know publish or hold back. Okay. All right, I've shuffled this enough. Let's take a look. So the first card, 3 of Pentacles. You've been working alone for a long time. There's a new project on the horizon. I'm going to strategically put that there. So let me take a look here. So 3 of Pentacles is about getting something done, and when it's inverted, it's like when you have the team project, but your team like you're the only one doing all the work on the team. And sometimes it's because you can't trust team members, or because the team members just aren't pulling their weight. Whatever it is that you're going to do with the publishing of this, it's all on you. If you thought that you could ask for some advice or anything like that, you would be better off knowing that those are questionable factors, and trying to include them will actually cause you more pain than you want to deal with. So that's the first thing. It's like, just know that if you do this, it's going to be a one cat paw show, as I like to say it. And then the other one was the Lovers, which not shiny project syndrome, but it makes me feel like, I mean, obviously this work would be, I think this work is very important to you, or the action of doing it is very important to you, and I think it's going to actually bring you a lot of joy and a lot of goodness, because the really nice thing about lovers, outside of everybody thinking that it's a good sign for love and all that, it actually means a union of ideas, projects, or elements that are valued in our lives. So it also means shiny new project syndrome. So I'm wondering if maybe you do actually have a shiny new project that will start the moment that one gets out. Yeah, shiny project syndrome keeps bouncing around in my head here for a minute. And then the last card is the Wheel of Fortune, but it's inverse. So it's usually what goes around comes around, only in this sense, this ties back to this card where what you're trying to do is, again, it's going to be the one cat paw show, and it's a lot of work. That's what I keep thinking. It's going to be a lot of work, and if you don't plan accordingly, that work is going to crush you with what it is that you're trying to do with this particular work. I don't know why it's so much work for you though. Like I think I'm picking up on like weird apprehension with it. There's something about it. I'm sorry, I'm pulling another card. Two of Pentacles, unable to make choices. Transition, making more choices. Okay, so Two of Pentacles is about a balancing act, but it's inverted, so we're having a hard time balancing things. We're looking at trying to transition, but it's inverse, so we're moving in without a direction. And then this is us making choices with limited information. You need to do more research. Maybe it's about the categories, or maybe it's about the method in which you want to release it, or the marketing strategy. But I think that there's a key piece of information that you're missing that would actually alleviate the burden of these two cards right here. So that is my advice, cat paw. That is my advice. Go take a look at some other options that are available to you. Talk to your friends about the method in which you want to publish this work, and maybe see if they can shed some light. I know with Kindle Unlimited, they actually changed like one thing, like the categories, so you can only now have only 2 categories and not like the 10 that used to be able to ninja, for example, which makes our reach a little harder to do. So I hope that helped you. A one cat show. Yes, one cat paw show. I will take a reading. Okay, sure. I wouldn't mind. Okay, so Stacy says, I wouldn't mind a reading to see if these spreadsheets are going to help me with my family writing. I want to know if they are worth the work. That's fair. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Really suck at shuffling. Please don't judge me. This is why I don't work at a casino. Let's see what to ask. Well, we'll get to you in a minute. You can think about Sky. I think there's 2 more people in front of you. So Stacy wants to know if these spreadsheets are going to help me with my family writing. I want to know if they're worth the work. Okay, so we got Page of Pentacles. That's a yes. Ace of Pentacles. That's a yes. Oh, but you're doing it alone. Oh, this is labor of love for you. All right, so we talked earlier about the Page of Pentacles. It's somebody who is about to venture off into like a little kind of, they're venturing off, they're seeing the world. It is a business, money related card. And then you're following that with the Ace of Pentacles, which is the seed growing card. These are both growth cards. The yes or no question that you're asking is yes, that these are going to help with the family writing. I think what's actually going to happen is, my first thought is it's going to bring the family together a little bit more, because these are also family cards. I probably should have said that as well, because the 10 of Pentacles is all about family and heritage and all that other stuff, which I didn't pull, but I'm using that to reiterate the association with the cards. So you're going to find something out, I think, as you're laying down more of like these details, because you're going to notice that there's something that's not quite consistent, so you probably have to look it up. And people are really excited for you to do this, but it's one of those things, kind of like that group project where you're doing it by yourself. You're kind of left out alone in the snow to figure it out. But yeah, no, you should absolutely do the spreadsheets. I think it's going to give you a bit more insight, and It may seem like a lot of work that you're doing by yourself, but it's definitely worthwhile in the end. That was a little easier one to do. Okay, cool. So, if you would like one, I would need a question, sir. So let me know. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Yes, this is why I don't work at a casino. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just going to shuffle until somebody throws me a question. I'm so excited that you're doing that project, though, Stacy. There was a writing group I used to be in, and there were 2 instances where somebody brought a family project. And it always makes me sad because publishing doesn't really care about like memoirs or family history unless you're like a famous person or you screwed a famous person, right? Like that. They just care about the sales. So they want like the juicy info kind of stuff. But some people have like amazing family histories, and I really wish that we were doing more to kind of like bring some of these stories to light. Like, I don't know if I told you guys, but my family is actually a family of like criminals. As I like to joke, we stole rifles in like the Civil War and like made moonshine when it was illegal. Like we're just, I think we all have issues with authority in the sense that if somebody unrealistically tells us to not do something because we're like, screw it, we're gonna do it anyway, kind of thing. So. How much time do we got? Okay, we're at 35. That's good. Venom asks, what will I achieve this year, if anything at all? Ooh, asking big questions today. Okay. Oh, looks like you're going to have some stuff to reflect on. We're going to strategically cover that one. Well, that's not bad. You actually are going to accomplish things that are going to leave you very satisfied, but it's not going to be in only one thing. It's going to be in multiple buckets. And I pulled the devil card and had to strategically cover up the devil card. But the thing with the devil card is that it's about like kind of all of the I don't want to say sins of our life. It's usually like things like, that it's things that we willingly addict ourselves to. Like maybe it's alcohol, maybe we're playing too many video games, maybe we're overindulging in an activity that we shouldn't be. It's some kind of desire that we have. And so when I see this card and I think about you, I see that you're doing introspection about things that that are kind of distracting you from your bigger goals of where you want to be, and you're identifying them. But you're not quite cutting them out, if that makes any sense. I think you're just realizing that they're there, and you're thinking about moderating it or learning to work around it. So, and then this last card is the 10 of Pentacles. This is the one I was talking about earlier. This is about family legacy and leaving something behind for future generations. So when you're going to accomplish a lot and you're doing it for the sake of having something that's left after you. And I think that's a great idea. I actually I really like writing in the sense that it leaves something that's behind after you're kind of gone situation. Not that that's what I'm saying is what's happening with you, but it's honestly a good spread. You're going to get a lot done. You're going to be very comfortable and confident with it. You're going to identify some of the items in your life that need to be addressed, maybe eliminated. Doing that is another thing if you decide to. And then you're going to be working on long-lasting accomplishments that will come after you. So there you go. There you go, my friend. My family, I'm very biased. My family is very awesome. Let's see, Natalie says, I would like a reading too. I got a few things I need to answer, please. Yeah, go ahead, throw me a question. Devil is the pinnacle of self-indulgence for me. Yes, I also agree. For me, if that showed up to me, it might say I'm playing too many video games, or maybe I need to cut back on my drinking or something like that. So, see, Stacy says, I did find out that my 3 great-grandfather's youngest brother, all of his sons died with no kids. It was a sad moment when I realized it. Oh, that loneliness, though. Sky says, I found out one of my friends has a family of drug addicts and criminals, so it's great, fun stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, my family's never done criminal stuff like that. I mean, we were always rebels in different ways. Let's see. I like Venom's question. That's a good one. Is that the question that you want, Sky? That's my question. Cat Paw says, comparing my family tree with those I've done for clients, it's bonkers. So much going on, moving countries, accusing of witchcraft and burn, game playing, losing fortunes. Oh my goodness, so much drama. Yeah, I really think that family research is really is like super insightful. Like, I'm still getting people like on 23andMe, they're like, how am I related to you? I was like, I have no idea how we're related. Look, I just like put like cotton in my mouth and sent it to this like website, okay? So, granted, I think some of them, I think I had like a grandfather or two that may have had a little bit extra fun, and now we have like third cousins. Alright, so Natalie said that they had a question, so I will wait for that to pop up. If you guys are posting, it's going to take a moment to get to me, so I'll just keep shuffling. You see me rolling. I'm trying to think about what my big self-indulgence is right now. I think my biggest self-indulgence I always struggle with is alcohol. Although I'm a little bit better about it now than I was a couple years ago. I've actually been just toying with the idea of just like eliminating it altogether for a hot minute. Blind choices. I don't know who that's for. All right. I feel like everybody's thinking right now. Okay, well, while we're waiting, I will still go ahead and do the yearly overview for Authortube. So, because I really wanted to do that. So, if you guys want to throw your questions in, I'll get to them once I get done with this one, so that way there's not dead air here going on. All right, so January for Authortube. Let's take a look. Two of Wands, trying to make plans but not going anywhere. Cool. February is the King of Cups. That's always a fun card. I always see this guy as like a bartender. That's why he's a bartender in the deck I designed. Somebody who usually actively listens and is sensitive to feelings and very empathic. There's one depiction of a card where they actually have this guy outside of a fireplace, like leaning forward. That's the kind of guy that I always imagine that to be. Hello, Radiant Life. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, and it's Ava. Cool. Oh, cool. Everybody who's cool is showing up today. Let's see, March. Oh, looks like shit's going down in March. Seven of Swords is about theft. It can be intellectual theft or actual physical theft. In this case, we're seeing physical theft, but I've always taken it as like stealing like an idea or something from another person. I had this card show up for me once when somebody was actually trying to take my branding and make it theirs. It was a very awkward situation. But so it looks like in March, there's going to be a lot of idea taking going on, which is kind of weird, but some people got to do what they do to make that hustle, I guess. April is, that's such an odd time to have that card. So in April, Authortube has Camp Nano, but we have inverted Ace of Swords, which means that the thinking is not going very well. Huh. That's interesting. I keep thinking there's drama going on as well with this. I keep thinking backstab, which might make sense if there's stuff going on in March and this card is showing up. Whatever's happening here is going to have flow over or overflow into the next month, which I would like that to not be the case, but there you go. May for Authortube is Six of Cups. We are lost in nostalgia, wishing for the good old days, but they're not there anymore. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I hate this chain of story. Oh my goodness. June is going to be Knight of Wands. Oh, recklessly going everywhere, but burning in the path. I wonder what burn it down. That's my thought when I see that card. Lost in. That's okay. So somebody's gonna get caught stealing in this month. They're doing it in this month. So in March, somebody's taking from somebody else in some shape or form. It comes to light in April. It upsets a lot of people. We keep wishing that things were like they used to be, and then we're rushing towards some kind of weird over motivation, like burnout. Like we're just gonna get burned out. That's what's gonna happen. In July, the Chariot. Oh well. Let me pull the following card. Hold on. August. Oh, well, that gets better. Sorry, I'm just pulling the rest of the cards now because I'm like, I need this story to make sense to me, so I have to like go to the last page at this point. Okay, so burnout. But okay. So running recklessly, burning ourselves out. And then in July, we're going to be moving forward with purpose. This is also during another Camp Nano period. So I think we're going to be charging forward with like outlines or laying down foundation and having a solid direction of where to be going. In August, High Priestess time. So that means that we're a bit more in tune with what's going on intuitively. It's not quite logical. It's about how we feel about things. And I think whatever happens in July, it's going to give us feel goods, and we're going to have like a better sense of what's going on and how we need to approach things. But again, it's from the heart. It's from the feelings. It's not quite from the logical. So it's like we have the idea and the intention to do the right thing, but we're not quite following it through with a game plan. Although I think that starts to show in September because, again, we have another Batman card, as I like to call it. So Inverted Emperor is definitely not my favorite kind of person because that's definitely ruled by Iron Fist. This is YouTube. That's my thought. Something happens with YouTube and it's like going to jerk us over. So that kind of sucks. May have to consider other options for posting videos, I guess. And then in October, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, which is a great card because that is reflecting and looking back on per accomplishments and the things that we laid seed to. A lot of people in Authortube are going to be doing really well, and we're going to be very happy for them, which I think is a great card to pull because, celebrating sharing accomplishments is something that, helps us all. And then in November, more celebration. I think whatever drama I pulled for this month isn't really going to come to an end until November. That's brutal. Oh my goodness, you're long fighting? Ugh. Oh my goodness. Whew. But we're going to come out victorious. We're going to be well liked. We're going to be motivated. It's going to inspire us. But I said that, but it's also November, so that's NaNoWriMo. So a lot of us are probably going to partake in NaNoWriMo and win NaNoWriMo. And if you win NaNoWriMo, man, like fucking flaunt that shit. I think we're going to get new people in this month as well. Usually these people are looking up to the one person that's the victory, but I see this as a community card too. So we're probably going to we're going to remember, or we're going to get new faces. So, and then the Seven of Cups, that's all about fantasy and losing ourselves in dreams, which it's December, so we're all going to be planning for the next year. So that makes absolute sense to me that we're going to spend a lot of that time thinking about where we would like to be and how we want to get there, but we're not quite making the game plan. We're just like indulging in the idea of it. So, all right, so that was the year-long overview for Authortube. It sounds very dramatic. I don't know what's happening in these cards right here, but I definitely don't want none of it. So my first thought is that's probably louder people on Authortube. I don't have a name or anything like that. It's just usually people who lead the pack tend to have those ripples a little bit more. Let me take a look. I don't know what's going down in March. I hope it's not bad. Drama relating to Nano? Maybe. Could be. Might be one of those things where people start telling each other how they're supposed to write and stuff like that. That video always circulates at some point. But the only thing I tell people to not do in NaNoWriMo is snack on Starburst. Like, just don't do that to yourself. Which somebody posted a video. It was like, yeah, when you get a little hungry while you're writing, just eat like a bag of Starburst. And I was like, no, please don't do that. That's how you get diabetes, my friend. Let's see. Authortube is going to have drama from 2022 carry over to 2023. Oh, that sucks. Maybe. Well, the thing about being a community is that there's always some kind of bitching going on. So, Stacy says, if somebody wants to steal my family and write the story for me, I won't be upset. I will help you collab. Tarot has always seemed interesting to me. I really don't know a lot about it. Well, you were in the right place to ask questions about it. So tarot is usually it's a divination tool. It used to originate as a turn-based game with the major arcana being 10 points and the minor arcana being 1 point. And it was kind of like Rummy, if you've ever played Rummy. And it was very popular in the 1400s. It was also very expensive because we didn't have a printing press available then. So card makers were making a mint off this game. And then when the Golden Occult book came out in the early 1900s, they talked about how you could use these cards as a divination tool. And Rider White got together. It was two people. One was the writer, the other one was the artist. And they made the standard deck that came out. And ever since then, it's always been a slight occult leaning item. You always find it in a bookstore, and they always put these right next to the Bibles. I always think that's very funny. At least in my area of the world, they always put tarot cards right next to Bibles. And back in my day, when I first started doing this and kind of collecting these cards, there was only like 2 decks available. But you can pretty much go out and find any kind of deck you want. You want deck that are represented by cats, they got that. They got birds, they got only women, they've got only men, they've got rainbows, they've got bicycles. There's one that's just of moon phases and moon shapes, and there's just really like all kinds out there. If you want it, there's probably a deck of it. See, Ava says, I don't think there was drama that affected more than one niche area of Authortube all of 2022. The thief scandal over post, it was probably the biggest. Well, we'll see what happens with that. I just mind my own business, y'all. And see, Sarah Cannon and the other person who decided Post-its were a stolen idea. Oh, you're talking about that lawsuit is still going on though, because that's been going on since 2021, hasn't it? Or 2020? Because that's when that one author tried to go after Heart Breathings about it, and even the judge was just like, no, you can't do that. So let's see, maybe YouTube decides they're taking away monetization for lives or something wild. I have no idea what they're gonna do. So suspicion, if the theft thing is about Amazon being outed and held accountable for what they're doing with Audible, it's a better way to interpret the theft reading. That is a better way to interpret the theft reading. I do agree. I just gifted the Golden Girl set to a friend last year. Oh, nice. And then apparently tarot fits in really well with novel writing. Oh, yeah. Mama Ward has done using tarot cards for writing her novel. I think at one point Amy Sky and I were kind of doing an experiment with it, but we never quite finished it. So we'll see how that goes. Currently, we got Brandon Sanderson being an advocate for indie communities. He says that Audible's making wide authors go from 40% to 25%. Royalties is theft, to be honest. Audible has been doing really weird shit with their programming for a while. And one example is, and it's kind of why I always just will publish a book and not put it on Kindle Unlimited, because I'm trying to think of how to word it. Romance authors felt this the hardest, because at one point they enrolled books into you get paid by the minute instead of getting paid for having the book, right? So if you had an Audible book that was out and somebody only listened to like 10 minutes of it, you only got paid for the 10 minutes. And they can pick that book up again at any time, but you won't get paid until they're done listening. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff like that. Cat Leo did some tarot writing outlines, I believe. Oh, cool. That's so awesome. Did I miss your question, by the way, Natalia? Or Natalie? I feel like I did. I'm going to go look for it in a minute. I just got that yesterday. I haven't listened to it yet because I have to finish one book first before I do anything, or before I pick up another one. All right, my question, what are some challenges I need to watch out for this quarter? Oh, okay, challenges. All right, let's see what we can find. And then I can probably do one more, and then that's going to be the end of our little hour reading for the day. So you did miss my question. Okay. You know what, Scott, I'm going to come right back to you. I'm going to go find her question. First come, first serve. I need answer. Okay, I think this is it. Basically been struggling with trying to work out if I took on too much work for this year. Need to answer if working out if I made the right decision. When you're saying working out, are you talking about like working too much, like job-wise? Or are you talking about or are you just talking about like physical activity? I need that to be clarified because I don't know if you're talking about work or if you're talking about physical exercise. Are there other streams today? Probably, but I don't know. I don't know who else is streaming today. It's Monday. There's gotta be somebody else streaming today. Trying to work out if I took on too much work for this year. I think it's a work question. Okay, that's how I'm going to interpret it. Okay, so did you take out too much work this year or not? Okay. You don't think you did. This work is a favor. That's my first thought. Your book writing. This is... So Six of Cups is about that childlike nostalgia, looking back and having fond memories of what it is that we're doing. You made this choice with that idea in mind. But your gut is saying that it wasn't the right thing to do, which is kind of interesting. Like your heart's not in it completely. Like you want to do it because you've got a good association with it, but there's something like in the back of your brain that is leaving that kind of uncertain bird chirping sound going off in the back of your head. What else? I don't know who this person is. This is a person too. Somebody said something to you at some point, and that's probably why you're having this thought. And I don't know if they have your best intention at heart, but I think what they said was a little thoughtless. Yeah, somebody said something to you that made you think and wonder this. Don't know who it is or anything else like that. But I keep going back to this apple tree for some reason. It's actually pomegranates, but if you do this, you're laying the seeds down for future stuff. So my first thought is like, despite what was said that left this lingering doubt in your brain, this is still a good step forward that you should do. The chariot inverse means running wild with no direction. And if you're going to do this and you want to be really serious about it, you need to make sure that you've got some kind of game plan. And I don't mean that you have to plan everything out like every day going forward. But whatever plan that you have, it needs more detailed steps in it. But you definitely have the motivation to do it for sure. What else am I thinking here? I don't know why I'm pulling another card. You have the will to do it. I don't know why you have imposter syndrome, but you can do it. Just write. Give yourself a lot of time in the day to write, so that way you know when you're going to write. If it's a fiction project, outline it a little bit so that way you can stay the course of where you're going. You don't get lost in the weeds, and have fun with it. So that is the reading for you. Radiant Life, if you would like to ask a question, you can. I will do Sky and then yours. Basically, the way it works is you ask a question that's not a yes or no question, although I can look at that too. Venom asked how his year was going to go. Sky is asking about things that she needs to look out for in the next 3 months. So, oh, that's right. Gloria writes the Lose Us stream on Mondays, doesn't she? I remember that. Doesn't Devin have like a spreadsheet that they keep for that? If Devin got his account back last time I checked. That's so dumb. The reason Devin got his account suspended. Authortube being author. No, not Authortube, but YouTube being YouTube. All right. Let me find. All right. So this is Sky's question. What are some challenges I need to watch out for this quarter? Why does this guy keep showing up? Oh my god. I don't know who this guy at work is. Here's your first obstacle. Somebody who's very comfortable with where they are and what they have, and they're also very comfortable with how you'll react to things. So this is your first obstacle. It's a person. And I always think that so I think this is a bad manager who is used to making people work on days off because, it's one of those things where it's like, I need this job, so I have to work. And what's the thought I'm having here? This guy is... If you have to work through this guy, you have to... So I hate doing this because I hate this approach because it's not the Carrow way. This guy actually responds better to feelings than they do to logic. So when you have to talk to them about something, you have to tell them how you feel. And I don't mean like break down crying, but if you do that, it's probably going to end up happening anyway. But this person will respond better to feelings than you trying to like speak like a robot at them. So that's your first thing. Another challenge that you have shiny project syndrome. So do I. This is the Page of Wands. Wands are about fire, inspiration, motivation, and going forward and all that good stuff. You are going to have major shiny project syndrome this year. My advice for you, my friend, is just get a notebook and write those ideas down and say that you will work on it when you're done with your current projects. So that's what I do. And your last obstacle, King of Swords, something intellectual. Okay, so this is the first thing that popped into my brain. You need a certificate. I know you're working on something right now, but you need another certificate. I don't know what that certificate is, but it's the thing that's really going to get your foot in the door. I would probably do some research and find out what some companion certificates that you need for the thing that you're working on is, and start working on that as well. I know you were trying to move out of things very quickly because of conversations that we had. But I pulled this card because I had a question. Knight of Cups inversed. You are going to have a situation which is going to occur in the next 3 months that is going to emotionally frustrate you because you have a game plan, but this is going to come up and it's going to throw a wrench in the works. It might be the certificate that I'm saying that you need to get. But I think it's finding out that you need the certificate. So knowing that you need it now is probably going to save you versus going to the job interview and then finding out that you were supposed to have it or that's something that they want. So go do that research, find out those certificates, ignore shiny project syndrome or learn how to cope with it. And remember to talk to this man with... Yeah, it is a man. I was like, no, it could be a woman. No, it's a dude. So talk to this person from an emotional standpoint, which again, I never like doing as a Carrow, but that's just how that person responds to it. I hope that helped you. Okay, so, all right, so the last reading will be for this Radiant Life because Radiant Life has never done this before. I guess I want some insight for writing, work, or family. Is that a thing? Yeah, no, it's totally a thing. So I will get you some cards for that. I hope that helps you, Sky. I don't know what certificates you need, but you will find them and you will learn them and you will put them on your resume. So, all right. Oh, fantastic. I love hearing that. I hope that you were very successful with this. It obviously means a lot to you. Okay. So, Sky is because she only got to write 1 day last month and she needs more of that. Yeah, you do need more of that. I agree. All right. So again, some insight for writing, work, or family. Is that a thing? Well, it is a thing. So writing, insight. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. That's okay. Okay, so because you've never done this before, I'll walk you through it. 10 of Pentacles. So Pentacles are earth and family related. They're also about business. The 10 of Pentacles is about legacy for family. That's the big takeaway with that. Your card is upright, so that means that we're looking at a solid foundation going forward. In this case, though, when I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking about you, family first. That's the first thing. You've got a lot that's going on, but whatever happens, the family needs to come first. And I think that because the family is what energizes you. It's what gives you more energy to go and get things done. So don't cut this out of your life. Still keep it part of your life in what way is realistic, and always just enjoy it. And if there happens to be a dog in your future, please pet it for me because I love dogs. The Ace of Swords. So swords represent air, thought, intelligence. And the Ace of Swords, if I had to call this a person, I would say that this person is Sherlock Holmes. Very intellectual, very to the point. They see all kinds of details and they're able to make deductions that most people can't do because they're just that well versed in what it is that they're doing. When I see this card and your question, I think about you, Radiant Life. You are very, very, very intelligent. You have a lot of fantastic ideas, and in some ways, like your thoughts and your approach to things are so sharp it could be a weapon. That's how outstanding that is. And I think you need to be kind to yourself. And acknowledge that this is a big strength of yours. And maybe in some situations where you're trying to be humble about it, you don't have to be, but you don't have to like cut people with what you're thinking or your stuff is either. But just acknowledge the fact that you have like some really awesome things to work with, and to make sure that you actually do work with it. What else am I thinking? Man, something about put the crown on your head. Yes, queen. As they like to say. Yeah, no. That's really good. No, acknowledge that you've got some good stuff going on. So the inverse moon. So the moon has to do with like fears, doubt, kind of like if I had to describe the moon card, it's like when we were a kid and we're in our bedroom and somebody left the closet door open and we're kind of staring into the abyss of the closet, right? Like it's that uncertainty, it's that fear, it's that lizard brain reaction. It's inverse, so that means that we're a little lost in that sensation. I think when I see this card and I think about you, though, what I am picking up here is just basically doubt of what you can and can't do, which, I mean, we all go through like these moments of, should we do this? Should I not do this? Am I good enough for this? And I think for you have a hard time getting away from these thoughts. Only you are going to be able to know how to kind of break this cycle of thinking. I keep thinking like a log of some sort. If you had a log where you're kind of tracking, not quite like a gratitude log, but like a victory log. Things that, make you feel victorious during the day or make you feel good, and kind of go with that. So also, if you happen to pet a dog in the future, please pet it for me as well. All right, there you go. All right, that was the reading. Cool. All right, so we are definitely at the hour mark. I said I was only going to do this for an hour. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and doing this with me. I will do it again next month. When am I going to do it next month? I don't know. Let's take a look here while I get my handy dandy planner out and figure out my life. Oh my goodness. Looks like the 6th. All right, Carrow stream. All right, Carrow stream. All right, so thank you guys again for coming and hanging out with me. I am going to go ahead and end the stream here in just a little bit. Again, if you guys are interested in this particular deck, it's called Classic Tarot. If you would like to get it for yourself, next month I'll grab a different deck and we can use that one. So, but yep, okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for today. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. So, bye. Hitting the button once, hitting the button twice.